A lot of people might not know, but he proposed to you while he was in jail.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book and when I had to talk about it, speak my words for the audible version of the book. That was probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in and having to leave him there. And he was in bad shape. And so when he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time that he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway.
Stop the cap.
Here we go. Jada talking about, all right, she went and visit Tupac. Tupac proposed to her before Will. She didn't take it. I don't know, man.
I think it's just bullshit. I mean, I don't believe it. I mean, it could have possibly happened, but at the same time, when men are in jail, like how much can you really believe at this point? I mean, he's at a place of desperation. He don't know when he's getting out. You still a celebrity, you popping like, and you really took that to heart. But this is what happens when you are unhealed, lack of therapy, and I think I can't remember which one of you all said it, but this is where she's still holding on to that little part of her that still never healed from the love that she wanted from this guy. So yeah, I think this is just, backing up what you said, that is still a part of her that really wanted him and didn't get him.
What is that? What is it in the mass majority of our melanated women where they are attracted and they can't resist it? They're attracted to this rough, rugged, thuggish individual, and they all say it. The latest cry on the Kendra show is ladies coming up saying, "I want a reformed thug." That is absolute madness.
I think that one part of it is, I think one thing we forget oftentimes about melanated women is that, believe it or not, I think a lot of our brothers have forgotten that melanated women still are very down. That's one thing that I have not heard a lot of men say lately. Like they forgot about the fact that Black women are still very loyal to a fault sometimes. Yes, it might be through a stupidity lens, or it might not be smart, it might be desperate, it might not be the right choice, but I think there has always been something deeply embedded in Black women. You can go as far back as you want, that has always been, help this man through this. He might be down on his luck, but heal him through this experience. Due to the ratchetness of our current society, I think Black men have just forgotten that. Black women have always been, wanting to help you when you down, or wanting to put you in a position to see the good in you instead of the bad. Like, you do realize that we were right there with you through the oppression, through the slavery, through all of these things. I think you all forget that sometimes, through the sexy reds and the Sukianas and whatnot, or whatever her name is. So, I think it's that part, it's that woman. But I think also hurt people are attracted to what they are. So when you are unhealed and when you messed up and when you haven't done the things you need to do for yourself and you've never been loved, you don't know how to receive it. So when she sees a good man, or when she sees someone who's going to treat her well or really marry her or treat her the way she needs to be, he's boring, or he just doesn't have it. She's addicted to that trauma response. She's addicted to that trauma bond. So instead, this is easier. I can fix, I can help, I can get him through this. So I think it's that, because obviously it's not a smart decision. So I mean, that's how I would answer. It's not to give an excuse, but it's that. And I think the last point I would give to that is the woman who does not love herself. So she wants to be accepted, no matter how beautiful she is or what she looks like. She wants the approval of a man. Maybe she never got the approval from her dad. So this guy who she has to chase, who really don't want her, who's the bad guy, who she needs to, tame or convince something to, she'll keep just going after him to show him, I'll be that for you, I'll prove this, and it doesn't work. So that's what I think it is, if that makes sense. I think women come from one of those points of view when they do that. I don't think it's just flat out, because it's not smart. You know,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
And that's why I question, because I say it's not smart at all, and it's proven to be extremely detrimental. There's no as men, we definitely don't forget the struggles of our fellow melanated women for sure. But with that being said, ain't no way we can say and justify any respectable woman sitting there standing next to a man in prison. I don't care. Just know if that man chose a life of crime, and ain't no saints up here. We just being real, even if we hit dogs. No. And we can't say, oh, well, no, I definitely ain't forgot about the struggle of our sisters, but we cannot sit here. I'll say it comes from a hurt place. We can agree on that. It comes from a hurt place, but we can't virtue signal. That's what I got from that. A virtue, like, oh, we forgot that black women will stick by your side no matter what. Ain't nobody, no reasonable man instructed them to do that. They did that on them themselves, and it ain't proven good. Do not stick next to no man that is a repeat criminal. And come on, like, we just got to do better, man. Shout out to POC.
I agree, but it's hard sometimes for women who haven't realized where to draw a line in the sand. When those women have not had that real life experience to know this is what you do and this is what you don't do. And I get it, at a certain age, you should just know better, right? Like at a certain, like I'm highly confused too. When at 40 years old, you choose to date somebody, in a halfway house, or you decide to date somebody who's locked up in jail. I can understand it when you're in your teens, or, you shouldn't do it in your early 20s. But, sometimes I think it's just a matter of women just really need to understand their self-worth and like you said, is this a situation where you can work through this, with this person and it makes sense, or is this just a flat out situation that is a waste of time and it's going to take you down through there? So yeah, I agree, but I think it gets crossed because women here, okay, you don't want me to only date the guy who's 100% ready for me and on my level of above, because then I'm not dating the normal average guy or the guy who might need a little help or can only pay the light bill. So they don't have that. You get, like, they don't know. They should know how to make the difference, but I think some of them just go super extreme with it, where they don't know how to make the difference of, you can kind of work with this guy versus he is not work withable, period.
There you go. I agree. I think ultimately that type of confusion comes from these sisters thinking with the little man in the boat. So like the instance with Pac, all these prison bays, these sisters be thinking with that little man in the boat, and they like, I likes what I like. I likes how he does me. To heck with the future.
And here we go. We got some super chats got to get to. Before that, I see Miss Locks to Smile says, many black women love to rescue Nug Nug, thinking she can turn him into a successful reformed man. Absolutely. At their detriment.
At their detriment, yes.
You have to marry me to do that. Right? I'm here.
I see why we love you.
And then like, he needed a rock. He needed, because of our friendship and because of everything we had been through together, he just wanted to feel that solidified foundation, because I promise you, he would have married me and divorced me as soon as his ass left jail. He would have.
Right.
I'll be real with it.
Right. Because so many people in that position don't have support.
Right.
None at all.
None.
And he got the best.
Right. He was just like, look, and I just think it was the mind state that he was in. He wrote me this long letter, and I think even before Pac went to jail, he was starting to shift in a certain manner.
Good or bad?
Good, really good. And I think that for him, he just felt like, okay, if I can tether myself, it'll keep me on a trajectory.
A lot of people.
Oh, there you go, Jada. I don't know why she talking about Tupac been gone a long time. Let that man, come on.
So Taz. She love her some Pac. I get it. It is what it is.
It's just conveniently coming out after the last person was arrested for Tupac's murder. It's like, it's so convenient, ain't it, Jada?
So convenient.
She's always giving me that vibe. I don't know, like, and I don't want to be a hater. You know, I love my sisters, but it's just like, no, it's just something about her that's just, oh, you were really the one Tupac wanted. Like, and it's Jada. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, she's similar to Nia Long. Like, I'm sure back in the day, like, you know, she was
Yeah.
one of those people. Like, I'm sure
Mhm.
he, you know, maybe wanted her, but it's just like, come on, Tupac had the pick of the litter. Like, I don't know. I'm just not really buying it, but you know, whatever. You know, she's trying to make a buck. I'll leave it at that.
There you go. It's everything just seems to be timed so perfectly. Book release, you know, Pox Killer just got found and charged. It's just a perfect media storm. But ultimately, kudos to the Will Smith family clan for having outstanding promotional tactics and antics. Cause man, they gonna get they desired outcome. They're gonna get to a whole bag. So good for them.
Yep.